Okay, this is the meeting of the Fall River Commission on Disability for Wednesday, August 4th, 2021. Pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting or may transmit the meeting through any medium. Attendees are therefore advised that such recordings or transmissions are being made, whether perceived or unperceived, by those present and are deemed acknowledged and permissible. Okay, can we have the roll call from Catherine Desprez?
Chairman Dennis Pacelli.
Here.
Vice Chairwoman Debbie Pacheco.
Here.
Commissioner Danny Robillard.
Here.
Commissioner Ann O'Neill Souza.
Here.
Okay, and Commissioner Lisa Silver did inform me that she won't be present at today's meeting. Is there any public input?
Lisa.
Somebody? Hi, Lisa.
Hi, I made it. Sorry.
So Lisa is officially here under our roll call. Okay, I'll ask a second time. Is there any public input? Okay, is there any public input? Hearing none, I will move on to the next item, which is approval of a deposit to be made for McGovern's Restaurant for Saturday, June 4th, 2022, the second annual Disability Commission Scholarship Luncheon.
Motion to approve a $100 deposit from McGovern's Restaurant for the second annual Fall River Disability Scholarship Luncheon.
Do I hear a second to that motion?
I'll second it.
That. Oh.
Okay. Can we have any further discussion, first of all? Okay, we're going to have a roll call.
Chairman Dennis Pacelli.
Yes.
Vice Chairwoman Debbie Pacheco.
Yes.
Commissioner Lisa Silva.
Yes.
Commissioner Danny Robillard.
Yes.
Commissioner Ann O'Neill Souza.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Thank you. The next item is the establishment of an independent website to be for the Fall River Commission on Disability. Let me just tell everybody that our meeting agendas will still be posted on the city website, but there will be a link to a separate website which will be under the Commission on Disability. And this will enable us to do more things with it. One of the things we wanted to do, before I introduce our guest speaker, I emailed Renee Kochman, and one of the things we'll be able to do is to put all the Disability Commission meetings on our independent website, which will be more easily accessed than it is on the FRG TV website, which has many more councils, boards, commissions, etc. So basically, in terms of our commission, it would be a one-stop shopper kind of thing. We're also thinking of disability agencies, resources, where you can get assistance from different state disability-related agencies, and also our events, such as the scholarship ceremonies and Disability Awareness Day, and other kinds of information. So the outreach work group has been doing some research on this. We came upon an individual who came highly recommended by Jacqueline Silver, who does a website, an accessible website. This person came highly recommended by Jacqueline Silver. We had a work group meeting with him, and he's here today to talk about what he's prepared to do with the website. So I want to introduce Mr. Sam Morse, who is a graphic designer, if I'm not mistaken. So the floor is yours, sir.
All right. Well, thank you, Dennis. Hello, everybody. I'm Sam Mock. I'm a graphic designer in Westport. So basically, what we discussed was creating a website that could more easily direct people to your resources and be more accessible to more people. A place where we can have agendas and newsletters of the meetings, and as well as recordings or podcast files, depending on what's created in that regard. Basically just a very streamlined and organized website that'll make accessing all that information much easier. When we spoke, I sent Dennis an estimate, which I assume is part of our discussion today.
Everybody has that, yeah.
Okay,
sorry.
Great. So, yes, I guess other than that, if anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them about the costs and the timeline of building that website.
What I'm going to ask you to do, Mr. Mock, is I actually sent it out last night, but I also sent it out in June. So I sent it out last night because the last time we met was June 3rd, and I wasn't sure. I thought with a 2-month lapse and people have other things going on. So I wonder if it's okay with the rest of the group, if you wouldn't mind outlining again what the proposal is. That would be appreciative.
Absolutely. In regards to the costs or the content?
Everything. Well, the
Okay.
cost, mostly the cost. You don't have to worry about the content.
Okay, great. So largely, I build my cost off of an estimated $50 an hour rate. The large majority of that being going back through former minutes. Dennis and I have collected all the minutes from past meetings and creating pages for that so that there's a record of that going back. And then on top of that, it's more or less all the themes and plugins, the things that are going to actually help make the website be as accessible as we're looking to make it. So it's archival of old agendas and files mostly is where the bulk of the cost comes from. On top of that, my estimate does not include the actual hosting fees, which come from Bluehost, which is the company I work primarily with. That comes out to be about $119 a year for the first 3 years, and then it's $29.99 to renew it after that.
If I'm not mistaken, I think we estimated that the entire cost would be something like $600 a year. Is that correct?
It's $29. Yep, and that also depends on. So when we discussed it, I also offered a rate of $50 a month to do the upkeep of the website. That means putting the files onto the website so that you don't have to have somebody in-house doing that.
Okay.
So that comes to $600. That's just for my time posting to the website. And then beyond that is the actual hosting and domain fees, which are the $120 in addition to that.
So we're talking approximately $750 a year altogether, the whole package. Is that correct? Would that roughly be
after the initial cost of the build? Yes.
Yeah. The initial cost being $3,000.
Correct. Yep.
Okay. Are there any questions from my colleagues?
Mr. Chairman, our members unmuted.
Is everybody unmuted? If you have any questions, *6 to unmute. You know what? Just to help me out a bit, I want to make sure everybody's there. Can I hear someone just say, "I'm here"?
Can we do another roll call?
Okay. All right. Well, can we do? Let's do a quick roll call because I just want to make sure everybody's here because I'm not hearing any responses and sometimes technology goes nuts. So, can we do a quick roll call, Catherine?
Chairman Dennis Pacelli.
Yep, here.
Vice Chairwoman Debbie Pacheco.
Here.
Commissioner Lisa Silva.
Here.
And Danny Robillard.
Here.
Commissioner Ann O'Neill Souza.
Here.
Thank you so much. All right. So, now, are there any questions to ask for Mr. Mock before we entertain motions?
Dennis,
Yes.
it's Debbie Pacheco.
Okay.
My question is, and it's unnecessary to Mark, I guess, is the reasoning why we're deciding to do something independent from the city, is it just to make it more accessible to people because the Forever website is not as user-friendly? Is that what the rationale is? I'm just wondering if that's where the outreach committee was going with this.
I can answer that. It is twofold, Debbie. I'm sorry, Madam Vice Chair. It's twofold. The first is that the city website is not, it's accessible, but it's not user friendly. And the second, and I actually think this is more important, is that we can do more with the website. We can do links to disability agencies and their newsletters and resources. We can do links. We can put our events. Because I mentioned at the beginning that FRG TV website, and again, I want to emphasize it's accessible, but it's difficult. YouTube is where you can find their meetings, and it's not always the most easily navigated for people with screen readers and other disabilities. So it's not. I would have to say that it's primarily to be able to do more and to make it more. To make it more, how do I want to put it? To put more disability-related information on it.
No, so Dennis, I mean, that makes perfect sense, and that I just wanted to kind of get that clarified. Do you see us having a link on the city website?
Yes.
To go to our site? Is that what you're hoping? Okay, perfect.
Yeah, no, there will be a link. And by the way, the agendas will still go on the city website per usual, but there will be a link to the Disability Commission website. And the website would contain both the agendas and the meetings, minutes rather, in addition to recordings of the meetings, so that you only be navigating one website.
Right. Okay. I guess go ahead, Lisa. Sorry.
Commissioner?
Actually, it was Commissioner O'Neill Souza. I had a question regarding whether anyone has spoken to the IT department regarding putting a link from an outside website, linking it to the city website.
You know what? I haven't done that yet. I will do that, though. I've been talking with Renee Kochman about other aspects of the website, but I will talk with Dawn.
I know because of ransomware and a number of website hacks that city IT division for security purposes is sometimes very hesitant to put external links on the city's website. But I would just say I would check with Dawn Lewis.
Okay.
And speak with her regarding the potential of having an outside website.
You know what, Commissioner? That was my intent originally. I was going to wait till I was actually going to wait till after the motion passed, but probably I should have done it before today's meeting. So that's a mistake on my part.
And I will offer this, that the website I work, the company I work through, Bluehost, offers SSL security through it, which does go a long way in delivering assurances that the website is secure and safe.
Okay. What I might ask is a written statement to that effect, so that when I contact the city's IT department, I could share that written assurance with them as well.
Absolutely.
So Dennis.
Go ahead.
It's Commissioner Debbie Pacheco.
Yep.
So if I'm clear, so there's an initial cost to set us all up, and then there's going to be an annual cost.
Right.
Yep. There's two separate. Sorry, this is Sam Mock.
Okay, go ahead.
Two separate reoccurring fees after the initial payment. There's the actual hosting fee that goes to Bluehost, which owns the servers that would be holding the website, and then on top of that, there's a $50 a month that goes to me. And that's completely optional if you have in the future an intern who wants to take over the, updating and posting all of your new content to the website. But that $50 a month is for me to, receive in an email the files that you want up there, and then to make sure that it continues to be up to date.
All right. So my last question is: Are we tied into a agreement for so many years? Like, what happens if the commission decides after a year that they don't want to continue this, or is there a commitment on our part that we have to have as well?
So on my end, which is the $50 per month, that's month to month, can be canceled at any time.
Okay.
The actual Bluehost, which is the hosting website, they price things a way so that the longer that you sign up for, the cheaper the price gets. So the initial quote I gave you was with a 3-year commitment, and then after that it changes to a month-to-month payment schedule, which you can then again also pay up front in advance to reduce the cost.
All right, thank you. Mr. Pacelli, I'm all set with my questions. Thank you.
I would like to suggest that when the motion is proposed, it come with a proviso that I don't know if you want to use the word authorization or whatever, from the Fall River IT department. I just want to make sure that is added to the motion when it is proposed, unless you want to table the motion until I check with the IT department. Those are the options, folks.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Mark, I read over your proposal. I like it. You come highly recommended from another individual that has vast experience building accessible websites. Quite frankly, I believe the Fall River website is not as accessible as it could be. The IT department is bogged down, very short-staffed, and the Fall River Disability Commission has had difficulty getting the IT department to put any documents whatsoever, or any minutes, or any agendas, or any other resource links on the city website. So this would relieve Ms. Lewis of any of that responsibility. She's bogged down, short-staffed, has only been able to meet with us once in the last couple of years to even discuss this. We have the funding to do this, and I think we should do it. That's my position. I'm in full support of this for those reasons. Also, I like the fact that we are finally going to have all of our back minutes and agendas in one location, hopefully going back to the inception of the commission in 2006. Mr. Chairman, if I could ask through you, hypothetically, if Ms. Lewis does not approve putting a link to our website on the city website for whatever reason, I would hate to see this project killed on a decision of the IT department. So I'm happy to make a motion with that proviso. However, if she disagrees, then I think we should make another motion to go on our own.
Okay, are there any other questions or comments?
So are we doing a 3-year commitment, or are we doing this year by year?
This is Sam. I can give you the different costs associated with the timelines that you select. The reason that I suggested the 3-year is just that's how you lock in the lowest price, which is $9.95 a month. It goes.
Just to be clear, that's $9.95.
Yes,
not
$9.95 a month.
Okay,
which is $119 a year.
Okay, so it's $119 a year over the next 3 years, and then if we renew after that, it's $9.95 a year. I'm just doing that to be clear. So
yep.
Am I correct in that?
Yes.
Okay.
So, Mr. Chairman, do I still have the floor?
Yes, you do. I didn't mean to. Go ahead.
No, that's fine. I asked a question through you. I just wanted to make sure I still had the floor. Thank you very much. Thank you. Mr. Mark, could you then, for purposes of making a motion, would you then be able to lay out the total cost for a 3-year commitment?
Absolutely. And would that be including my $50 a month, or should I lay that out separately? Yes?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep, that is very doable.
Okay, just so that there's not debt, are we doing calculations now, or because this meeting gets broadcast over FRG TV as a recording, so I want to make sure that.
Mr. Mark, are you able to provide me a number for that total 3-year commitment at this time?
I am. I'm currently calculating it. I just want to make sure I don't miss anything. So
sure, that's all I needed. That's all I needed to know, because when this is presented on.
Mr. Chairman, while we're waiting for that final number to be calculated, I'd like to emphasize that my motion is going to be to do this irrespective of whether we're on the city website or not.
Okay.
Because I don't believe, first of all, I think this will be a relief for Dawn Lewis, who is very short-staffed, number one. Number two, I don't believe the city website is as accessible as this one will be. And number three, we've had very much difficulty, in my opinion, because of the fact that she is short-staffed and for other reasons, we've had much difficulty communicating with Dawn Lewis, getting responses from the IT department over the years. So this is why we're doing it. We're in a financial position to do it, and I think we should do it. And Dawn Lewis's opinion as to whether or not we go on the city website should not preclude the project from going forward. And my motion is going to be to the effect that we ask her if she agrees that we go on the city website with a link, then we go. If not, then we don't go on the city website and we have our own independent website. That's going to be the motion that I'm going to make once we have that number from Mr. Mark in just a few moments for a 3-year commitment. That's the motion that I'm prepared to make. That's the only motion that I will support, because I will not allow, as one member, the IT department to destroy this project and allowing the Fall River Disability Commission to make progress in the area of technology for Fall River's disability community. Thank you.
Okay. You know what? I think we'll be able to handle this okay. Actually, right after this meeting, I'll be in touch with the IT department. So I really don't think.
I just want to
we'll
be
able
clear.
to handle this okay.
I just want to be clear that my motion is going to be that this project goes forward with or without the blessing of the IT department.
If I may, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
I'm not suggesting that the IT department could block this project. My only question was, did anyone reach out because of ransomware, because of issues in the past? I just wanted to confirm for my own vote that IT had been consulted. In the past, there have been media sites and sites created by other individuals. And my question is, if it is easier for individuals to have a separate site because there are blocks and such with the city, I understand that. But I just wanted to see before money is expended, because it is a city board, what we're allowed to do independently. So that was my only question. I do not know the answer to that, so I was just trying to see if anyone had gotten that from IT. There may be no issue whatsoever because it is a city board and because you're dealing with such a reputable individual who's running the website. But again, I don't know the answer to that, so that was the only reason. I wasn't suggesting, that anything be blocked or not proceeded with. It was just my information.
I took your concern as a security concern, and that's why it was my mistake. I should have consulted with the IT department before today's meeting, and you always have the option to table until next month if that's what people are comfortable with, until I get an answer from the IT department, or we can go ahead with the motion.
Mr. Chairman,
go ahead.
could I please clarify my remarks for my colleague, Ms. O'Neill Souza?
Yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you. To my colleague, Ms. O'Neill Souza, I completely understand your position, and I agree with it to a degree, and I don't want to do anything that would put the city's website in jeopardy from a security perspective. All I'm suggesting is that if she says, no, we can't have a link to the city website for security purposes, that the Fall River Disability Commission go forward with the project and build our own independent website without the link going on to the city website. If she agrees to it, fine, then we link it. If she's unable to agree for security purposes only, then we go on our own and build a more accessible website. That's all I'm suggesting. I too took your remarks as a security concern and nothing more, and I didn't mean to imply by any means that Ms. Lewis would intentionally block the project. That's not what I was saying. All I'm suggesting is whether or not we're able to go on the city website, we should do this regardless. That's all I was saying. Thank you, and I yield.
I do have a question for Commissioner Ann O'Neill Souza, only because of your role as the representative of the municipal representative on the commission. And that is, do you feel that there would be any objections from the city to the commission establishing its own independent website if we could not have a link from the city to the commission to a separate website? Would that be problematic from a municipal standpoint?
Are you posing that question to me?
Yeah.
I mean, again, I don't know enough about it. I don't know any other boards and commissions that have their own website truly. I know in one instance people have asked from outside of government to have their links placed on the city website. And I know, again, depending on what they are and accessibility, we always defer to the IT department. This is more of an internal, I would say, because it is a city board and commission. So, as I say, I would defer to Ms. Lewis. I would be more comfortable with my vote if we could able this just to get an opinion, and I'm not suggesting if she feels or doesn't respond timely that it should not go forward. I think it's a wonderful idea if it gives individuals better access and better quality than they currently have. I just would feel comfortable with a little bit more information, and that's only me personally. So.
Let me get two pieces of information to this commission, okay? The first piece of information is that FRG-TV had absolutely no problems at all with us having Disability Commission-related materials, minutes, videos, etc., on our independent website. In fact, Renee, as recently as last night, said he'd be happy to work with us and actually understood the ease of having a one-stop place where people with disabilities can have access to meetings, whether it's minutes or even video recordings or recordings of the meetings or events. The second thing is, when I first joined this commission in 2011, which, by the way, this is the 15th anniversary month of the establishment of this commission. Debbie and Danny Robillard are the original commissioners in 2006. The commission did have its own website. It was done by at that time Commissioner Paul Remy, and maybe Debbie, you can, and I don't know if Commissioner Robillard was on the commission at the time, but I know that Vice Chair Debbie Pacheco was chair at the time, that Paul Remy operated a website separate from the city. So there is a precedence for this commission having its own website.
Mr. Chairman, if I could clarify, my motion is going to be very clear. I'm going to oppose any motion that would table this item, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I'm going to frame my motion in such a fashion that we check with Dawn Lewis. If she agrees that we can put an outside link on the city website, then fine. We link that way to the city website. If she says no, that it's a security risk or for any other reason, then we go forward on our own. There's no reason to wait a month. All we need to find out is, can we go on the city website? If it's security feasible, then we do it. If not, we do it on our own. Irrespective to the city objecting to us having our own independent website, I think that would be, I would be hard pressed to come up with a feasible reason. We're using our own funding. We're not asking the city to give us a penny toward it. We don't have a line item in the budget. All of the projects that we do, we fund independently from the city. So my motion is going to be very clear. Either we have the consent of Dawn Lewis from a security perspective to link to the city website, or we don't. Either way, I think the project should go forward and can go forward before we get that answer. Because if she agrees, security-wise, then we'll be in two places. If she doesn't, then we go on our own. And there is precedent that this commission has had an outside website, and I believe that I was on the commission for a brief time when then Commissioner Remy, who now is the chair of the Sharon Disability Commission, was running the Fall River Commission website. I could be wrong about that, and I just want to be extremely clear for the record that although I was an original founding commission member in 2006, there have been several breaks in my service. Vice Chairwoman Debbie Pacheco is the lone commissioner who has been on the commission without interruption since August 1st, 2006.
Okay, Mr. Mark, were you able to come up with?
Yes, I have a number for you.
Okay.
Now, granted, this is just the current costs that we've talked about before. So, with everything we've discussed, it comes to about $5,258.20. But this is my first time working with a large commission, so as far as budgeting goes, what I always recommend to smaller clients is that they do include a little bit of padding in that cost in case there is something that comes up during the creation that requires some sort of outside plugin from a third-party website. So while the number is $5,258, I would recommend that you treat that like it's $5,500. That way, if something does come up, that money is already kind of put aside, and if we don't end up using it, all the better.
Now, is that $5,500 per year?
That's for 3 years.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right.
Mr. Chairman, do I have the floor?
You do now, yes.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion that we enter into a 3-year agreement for an amount not to exceed in total $7,000 for the building of the website, hosting fees, and any other issues that may come up. And again, I want to be very clear. This motion would allow the chair, Mr. Pacelli, to check with the IT director, Ms. Dawn Lewis, about putting an outside link on the Fall River website. If she agrees to it for security purposes, then it will go on. Our link will go on to the Fall River website. If she says for any reason, rhyme, or purpose that we cannot do it, then this motion allows the Fall River Disability Commission to go out and build and establish a more accessible, user-friendly website than the current Fall River City website. Okay?
We can't put all that in a motion. So can we just have what the motion is?
I make a motion not to exceed $7,000 to enter into a 3-year agreement with Mr. Mark's company, and that irrespective of Dawn Willis's opinion as to whether we can link on the city website or not, that the project goes forward.
Okay, do I hear a second to the motion?
I'll second
Is
that.
everybody?
I was having trouble unmuting.
Okay,
Lisa, stay unmuted.
okay, was there a second to the motion?
I second.
Okay. All right, further discussion on the motion? Okay, we'll have a roll call vote from Captain Destrums.
Chairman Dennis Pacelli,
Yes.
Vice Chairwoman Debbie Pacheco,
Yes.
Commissioner Lisa Silva,
Yes.
Yes.
O'Neill Souza.
No.
Okay. Motion carries 4-1. Okay. Mr. Mock, I will be in touch with you, both on this issue, because there are some paperwork you'll be going through, and then also an opinion from the IT department as well.
Absolutely. And if you want to see...
Mr. Chairman, could I just clarify?
Yes.
The motion that just passed is in the amount not to exceed $7,000, correct?
That is correct.
Secondly, the project goes forward regardless of the IT department's opinion. The only thing we're checking to see is if we can link on the Fall River website, right?
Yep, that's what I was going to. I didn't mean to complicate the vote, you guys. I just wanted to, for clear communications, I just wanted to let Mr. Mock know whether we would be able to have a link, or whether we'll just be, whether it'll be not just, but whether it'll be an independent website.
Okay,
so
great.
I didn't mean to muck up the issue here.
And if I may, if you could CC me on those communications, I can make sure that any security requirements that they need are met.
I will do that.
But the project goes forward irrespective of IT, correct, Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Very good. Thank you. I yield. Thank you, Mr. Mock.
My pleasure.
Thank you very much. The next item is the approval for the minutes of the meeting of June 9th.
Motion to approve the minutes of the June 2021 meeting of the Fall River Disability Commission. Sorry, I missed the date.
Okay. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Okay. Roll call.
Chairman Dennis Pacelli,
Yes.
Vice Chairwoman Debbie Pacheco,
Yes.
Commissioner Lisa Silva,
Yes.
Commissioner Danny Robillard,
Yes.
Commissioner Ann O'Neill Souza.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And we'll just go through some updates. The first is ADA. I don't have any updates at this time.
Did somebody read, Dennis?
Say it again. I'm sorry, Commissioner. Go ahead.
Did somebody leave the meeting?
Mr. Mock did.
Oh, okay.
Did anybody
Sorry
else?
about that.
Did anybody else leave the meeting?
Commissioner O'Neill Souza is here.
Okay.
Lisa.
Commissioner Vice Chair Debbie Pacheco, are you still here?
I'm here.
And Commissioner Lisa Silva, are you still here?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks for your cooperation. I appreciate that. So there's nothing on the ADA yet. Well, I don't mean yet. This month, I am looking to get some clarification on a few things regarding the improvement grant, but it'll be my intent to go through the ADA coordinator because I have some issues, which I'm not willing to go on record right now. The next item is policies. Vice Chair Debbie Pacheco.
No updates at this time.
Okay. And finance, you get in the minutes, you'll get the totals of where we stand each month. They're usually written in the minutes. Outreach, let me take this opportunity because we haven't met since June 9th, since before the scholarship luncheon. So I want to thank publicly everybody, particularly Lisa Silva and Commissioner Dan Robillard and Commissioner Lisa Silva for an excellent scholarship luncheon. I think it really went very well. The principals gave good feedback, and they appreciated it. And I think the event went very, very well. And I don't know if anybody else has any additional comments, but it was really a great day. Anybody?
I just think that's exactly the type of money, the type of event we should be doing, and it's money well spent.
Okay. And once again, thank you, Lisa and Danny, for all the hard work.
I'm sorry I couldn't attend the event, but I did have a prior family commitment. But I did hear that it was a wonderful event, and the students were very happy with the monetary award. So Thank you to Lisa and Dan for all their hard work.
Thank you. And there will be a second annual event next year, and we are going to include charter schools. We have 2 charter schools that go through high school years. So next year, the Argosy School and the, you know what? Help me on the other one because it slipped my
Atlantis
mind.
Charter?
Who? What? Say it again.
Atlantis Charter and Argosy.
I'm sorry.
The former Wixon. Argosy is in the former Wixon School building.
Okay. Well, I have both schools in my notebook in Braille, so you can trust me on that. So I will be contacting both the charter schools principals, and they will be in the mix next year. So we'll have a total of 5 schools. Is there any old business? Is there any new business? Do I hear a motion to adjourn this meeting?
Mr. Chairman, before we adjourn 1 second, I was going to ask this at the beginning of the meeting and neglected to do so. Since the Commission's last meeting, the City of Fall River lost a dedicated public servant and former mayor and former state representative Robert Correa. I'd ask the Commission to pause for a short moment of silence before we adjourn.
Okay, thank you very much. This commission really got off the ground fully under Mayor Correa. So I think that was a very important tribute. Commissioner Robillard, thank you very, very much for that.
Dennis, are you going to pick a date for the next meeting?
Oh, I'm sorry. Can we go back to is there a reason not to go back to the second Wednesday in September? Which, off the top of my head, unless you want to give me a second to go get a calendar.
Would be the 8th of September.
Okay. Is there a problem with the 8th of September?
Not for me.
No.
Going back to our regular second Wednesday of the month? Okay,
Nope,
is that
that's
okay?
fine.
Is that all right with everybody? Second Wednesday of September, September 8th, 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, can we have a roll call?
Chairman Dennis Pacelli,
Yes.
Vice Chairwoman Debbie Pacheco,
Yes.
Commissioner Lisa Silva,
Yes.
Danny Robillard,
Yes.
Commissioner Ann O'Neill Souza.
Yes.
Thank you all. We're adjourned.
Have a good day.
Danny, are you still there?